Hi Flosstube, it's Teresa from Teresa's Stitching Lifestyle in Christchurch, New Zealand. Welcome. Happy New Year everybody. 2026. Unbelievable. This year, like past year, flew by so fast. I have now been on Flosstube for 3 years. It popped up on my reminders that it was 3 years on the Christmas Day that I started this channel. So thank you very much to all of my subscribers, to all the people that do follow and don't subscribe. Thank you very much as well. For all the lovely comments that I receive from every single one of you. It really makes my heart sing. I love sharing my stitching journey with you all, and I've got some stuff to show you today. Before we go any further though, I do want to apologise for the home tour. I spent hours editing, adding music into all of that, and somewhere in the upload something went wrong, and we only ended up with music in kind of the second half to last third. I'm not sure what happened there, so I do apologise for that, but I hope you still enjoyed the home tour anyway, with all the Christmas madness, which as you can see, today is, what do we say, 3rd of January 2026. This is my first day off since Christmas, and to be honest guys, I'm really exhausted. It's been very busy at work, which is lovely. It makes the days go fast, but you come home really knackered. So this is the first opportunity I've had to film. So no Christmas decorating has come down yet. That will be probably tomorrow. I'll start the de-santification, as we call it. Very slowly. I'm in no hurry, and I have another week's work yet before I have another day off. So we're just going to take this as we do when we put it up, one tree at a time, and coming down will be exactly the same. But I do have, yeah, like I said earlier, quite a bit to show you. I'm going to show you what I've worked on, so just a normal floss tube, what I've worked on. And I also have kind of my plans for 2026. So it's kind of like a mini whip parade as well. I'm not going to do one big whip parade. Those that follow me and have followed me for a while know I have lots and lots of whips. But I have a plan for that, and we'll talk about that when we get to that section. Right now, let's look at the whips. Let's look at what I stitched on. So it's been pretty much a month since you guys have seen me. Because of the home tour, I didn't do a normal floss tube because that took my stitching day to get that done. So I'm going to show you what I've worked on. It'll be before Christmas, between Christmas and New Year, and then from the 1st to the 3rd, because I've already stitched today before we've even done this. Okay, but we're going to start with a big finish first. Alright, so I am surrounded, because all the Christmas stuff is still up, I'm surrounded by chairs at the moment with set projects all around. Okay, so if you remember, I kind of had goals that I wanted to achieve for last year, and I still had 3 samplers that I wanted to complete. I got 1 out of the 3 completed. I'm not worried about that. One I worked on as well, and the other one I put it back, and it'll come out later in the year and get some more love into it, and hopefully finish then. So the one I did get finished, which I'm really happy with, was Mary Ann Diaper 1826 from Hands Across the Sea Samplers. I love this one. I really enjoyed stitching on her. She is stitched on 36 count Swigart. It was just plain white, and I dyed it myself, and it's dyed with a caramel and pink blend. It's a caramel base and a pink overtone, so it gives it that really kind of motley look, which I quite like. And here, if I stand back about here, is the full completed sampler. There's a cat just running between my legs and out the door. Because I'm talking, she thinks we've got visitors. Okay, so we'll start at the top. It's all done. It is all done. So all the border has been finished with the lovely flowers and all the leaves. The 1/1 wording, and it's the poem about learn little maid. Each useful art which may adorn thy youth. Learn to improve thy tender heart in virtue, grace, and truth. Shun every vice with studious care, each female folly flee, that every grace which crown the fair may all attend on thee. It's a lovely little part of a poem. It's not the whole poem. And I love these little birds. Oh, and the roses, they were fun to stitch. Or strawberries. I think you probably call them more of a strawberry little bush. Okay, so down here. So I did leave out, it had Marianne's name, and it had, you know, the little part about what care my parents took of me. I'm sorry, but I'm a full-grown adult, and I love my parents, don't get me wrong, but they don't. I'm not 11 years old to write that into my sampler. So I left that out, and I've just popped my name in the year that I finished, 2025. Love the two little wee reindeers. I had to finish one of these. The butterflies, they went in last time. They're now all in, and the rest of the flower border. So I'm really happy to have this done. She will go hanging in the wardrobe until it is her turn to go to the framer. But really, really pleased with this. I did use DMC threads, and she's just as beautiful in DMC as she would have been in silk. But absolutely love how she came out. She's gorgeous. So, one whip gone. I am going to have to find a place to put this stuff. Okay, right behind me on the floor. Rightio. So that is Mary Ann. Okay, another whip that I worked on is, I have to find the book and pattern. So some are on boards, some aren't this time round because I just ran out of boards. Maria Vincenza, I think I'm pronouncing that right, Lariccha 1837 from Hands Across the Sea sampler as well. This is another red thread sampler, but it's not a Bristol. But this is gorgeous. I am stitching mine on a piece of 46 count antique lace from number 12 Stitch Co. And I am using Silks for You PB034, which is this beautiful red. And I bought a hank when I bought it, and I've still got heaps and heaps of silk left. Okay, so this is, where's that? Let's go this way, I think. So we are at the edge. It takes the whole fat half, or fat quarter. Is it a fat quarter? Oh my gosh, what are we? 18 by 30 inches piece of fabric, and it's more green. Like, yeah, it's probably pretty close, but still a little bit more green than this. Then you can see in the camera. Oops. So I worked on finishing up some of this coming along. You can see my thread still just hanging there. And I also did a bit down here and finished off this one here. So we're slowly getting there. I'm in no hurry for this one. It is pick up when I want at the moment, but I enjoyed an evening working on this. So I've actually tried to finish up a lot of the loose threads because I had quite a few. That one there, like there's still one here, but I seem to be out half a stitch. So as I'm coming down filling in, I'm finding out where I'm at. Not yet, so it's got to be in there somewhere. And then this one, I was working my way along to try and get ready to put the next number in, because each border has a number next to it. And I have to laugh. Weird stitches nowadays wouldn't do it, but I am doing this is the way she stitched it. And she obviously turned the fabric this way when she was working along the bottom, because our numbers suddenly start going 7, 8, 9, 10, but this is the top. So the numbers are actually, as you can see, the number 7 here is up, or 9 is upside down. 8 not so obvious. 7 is, so yeah, she turned it around and stitched it just the way it landed, and I think that's quite sweet. So I've left them that way. 1 thread over 2. So that is Maria. She got a, like I said, a night's work. Okay. Anais Curveur, which is Honour Thy Parents, which is a stitch along with some of my stitchy friends. It's by Reflect-a-Soir. And we're all doing it. Some are doing it in silks. We're all doing different fabrics. Some are doing it in cottons. So they all look very different, which is really quite nice. It's nice to see what we all liked and how, like I've chosen DMC. Because as you know, I love stitching with DMC. And some of the colours for the DMC are way different to the silks. So you have to kind of work out where they are on the pattern themselves. They're still where everybody's at. But this is supposed to be worked on the 15th of the month. I'm a bit slack at getting it done on the 15th of the month, but I am going to try and be better going forward. So what did I work on when I picked it up? I worked on some more in here in the flowers and the leaves. And just started with the burgundy here, this little wee rose, I guess you would call it. And just kind of used up, once again, loose threads that I had carrying, waiting to move it along. So it doesn't look like much of a change, but it was only one evening. And when we're talking one evening, I'm only talking a couple of hours, because I've been concentrating on other things. So a little bit of love, not a lot. Okay, just going to pop that one down as well. Right, so one of my stash sampler starts for 2025 that I pulled out and worked on was Rachel Sheard, 1900. She was aged 82 when she did this, and it is beautiful. And I thought, there's not a lot of colours when you're tired. Nice one to kind of concentrate on. Here's my colours. So because it's a small sampler, like I have leftover reds and stuff from, you can even see the called out threads, from other projects, and I've got some of my, how I used to do them on the old spools. If they don't use much, I use those up like I do with my ornaments. And then there's quite a bit of green, so I did grab a new skein of green. It was actually out of my stash, but right, this one is being stitched on a piece of 40 count, just cream. And when I picked it up, I had only done along the top here and a little bit this way in the red flower there. So when I picked it up, I decided I wasn't going to worry about doing the outer border. Sorry, didn't put this one on a board because it's quite small. I didn't want to carry on just doing the outer border. So I come down and I started doing the inner border because I wanted to get to the wording. So I wanted to get into getting this done because then I can start finish bringing that border down and around and then down to meet it, and then it doesn't matter, I can work when I'm at stitching meet up or something like that, I can work on that outer border. But I'm enjoying this one. It's not going to take very long. I mean, that was one session. But of course, as we all know, lettering normally does go a little bit faster. So it was nice to bring another one of my stash sampler starts for this year out and work on it. I really am going to run out of room, aren't I? Okay. One you guys haven't seen for a very long time that I pulled out. Now, Jane. When did we start Jane? I wrote it. I think Jane was started for Stash Sampler Starts the year before. Oh, I need to do need to look that up, don't we? One moment, please. So I've just had a look in my Nurse's Sampler Stitching book, which I put together for 2025, but at the back I do have my list of my Stash Sampler Starts from previous years. Don't look at that one, because that one there we haven't done much of. We're working on them. So Jane was started in Stash Sampler Starts in 2024. And this is what she looks like. It's a picture of that old antique, but oh, she's beautiful. Can't wait to get down to all this stuff, but I'm still way up here. Okay. Jane is being stitched using a combination of Gentle Arts and Weeks Dye Works colours, the called for colours, and they are beautiful. Now I am stitching this on another piece of fabric from, oops, oh, we missed that one with the clip. One moment please. Now this is another piece of fabric, and is it Decrepit? It's 40 count from number 12 Stitch Co. And I love the dirty colourings in this. So when I picked this up, I had like the bones of the border. I'd had this in. These guys. Is the bird in? I think I had the bird in. I can't remember now. I think I did, because this was stitched before Christmas. I just had the bones. So I came in and I put in all the little wee intricate details in the, like the leaf parts and stuff, all the way down. I put in this pink flower. And then I decided I wanted to start coming across so I could have choices. And then started the wording and did this pot here with the flower. Which does a little bit like, I've got the curtains opened right in front of us. So there's that natural light plus the other light. And in person you can see it. Is it a little bit faded, but you can actually see it. I love how this is coming together, and I was so excited to pick Jane back up. I wanted to pick one of my older whips that I hadn't touched all through the year, and give it a little bit of love. So it was nice to bring Jane back out. So she got 2 evenings stitching and stuff, but they were both only a couple of hours each. So yay for Jane. Right, looking down. Okay, so that's Jane. Now, my other sampler I worked on was one of my gold ones, and that was Sarah Brazier 1829, and she was Queen of the May for 2018 from Hands Across the Sea Samplers. This is the one with the big stag in the middle and all of that satin stitch. She is so gorgeous. I tried so hard, but honestly guys, I couldn't. And I'm really pleased with what I've got, and I know she's going to be finished very soon, so I'm okay with that. Okay, so here is the whole thing and where it is now. There's a lot being done in Sarah. I'm going to bring her forward, and we're going to talk about what I've done. So Sarah is being stitched on, sorry, excuse my voice, 56 count. Just a white Zygarde, and I am using DMC threads. So I went back up this time round, and where are we? The two little birds at the top here, just above my fingers, the two little butterflies, I put them in before I completely forgot about them again. Thank you to one of my viewers for pointing out that I'd missed those, so they are now in. I went and I finished the 1/1 wording in the center detail and put in all the little wee brown crosses, which of course are scattered throughout. So they all got put in, these ones got put in, and I've had a couple here that I'd missed on this side, so they got put in. I spent most of my time on, sorry I knocked the table, on this side of the sampler, and I fold in all of the border flowers. I think I've got that one, those two to go. They're above my fingers. They're the two that I have not finished filling in, but the rest, I was up here and these guys have all been filled in, and I brought the satin stitch, sorry I keep moving it out of focus, satin stitch all pretty much all the way down. I've only got a few spots here that need to be filled in this one here, down to the bottom. So I've turned the corner on this one, minus one colour, and brought the blue down here as well, ready to come around the corner. And then I'd had enough of satin stitch, and I've done the two planters, started those, which are identical to these two, for this side here. So Sarah has had a lot of love. She has probably been my biggest concentration to try and get that pushed through, but just not enough hours in the day after work to get it done. But that's all right. You're going to see Sarah quite a bit until she's done. But I do love her. She is just so gorgeous, and I cannot wait to have this. This one may need to, after end they send, because that is the next one to go to the framers, this one might need to jump the queue in front of a few others to be framed as well, because she's been a labour of love, and she definitely needs to be framed in on the wall. Okay, so that was Sarah. Whoops. Okay, the book just fell down. All right, so what are we going to do? We'll do Christmas stitching next. So just hold one moment, please. Okay, so I've just moved everything around and got my Christmas stitching that I was working on out. So I have a couple of little Christmas stitching finishes to show you, and a couple of whips that I was working on. One of the whips I was working on was Santa Wreath from Teresa Kogut. Came out at Jingle Ball last year, and that's where this copy is from. I purchased it last year. It came in the ornament book, and then of course it's been released this year to the general public, and he is so gorgeous. But I just keep running out of time, and this is where we're at. So Santa is almost done. I've just got a little bit here to do. And then fill in his bed, which I started. And then I've just got to bring the wreath around. So there's not a lot left to go, and he will be picked up and worked on. He certainly will be. He's gorgeous, and I want him on my tree. Okay, so centre wreath from Teresa Kogut. Okay, I had a couple of finishes. Take that out of the bag. One of them was Letters for Santa from With No Needle and Thread. This was a loaned chart to me from a friend, and I finally got it finished. This is being stitched on a scrap. I believe it's, I think it's 46. Just looking at it. But here we go. This is stitched with the called for a mix of DMC threads and a mix for the overdyed cottons, and a couple of them I just substituted myself for what I had. Now, in real life, all the white really does stand out. Just a little bit of that faded fabric. It might be a bit better. I'm starting to see him. Snowman here. There's another one down here. But I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to just do him as a square little frame for Christmas, or whether I am going to turn him into the cushion finish. I've got 7 months to decide before I really need to start thinking about that, or something will pop out and I'll just get it finished, fully finished. But he's gorgeous. So thank you very much. You know who you are that lent me the chart. It is coming back. But yeah, lovely to stitch, and so pleased to have him completed. Sorry, I'm just going to put the photo back in there so it doesn't get lost. So he was finished 30th of December, so just after Christmas. But love how he turned out. Okay, I'm just marking these as we go. Right, so another little one that I finished, and I need to fold this the right way so that we can see them. I've been working on the little stockings from JBWDesigns, not the ones in the big booklet. I do have those and I will work on those, but at the moment I wanted to get these ones, series of these ones finished. And this one is the Enchanted vintage stocking. It's design number 444 if you're looking for it, from JBWDesigns. These are gorgeous. And I can't remember the fabric. It is 40 count. And I did my, I need to look back through. I did my Blackbird design stockings on the same fabric. So that is why these guys are being done on this. I'm using DMC 3831 for all of them. I want them all the same colour. So 3831, and there we go. 1/2 threads. And just beautiful, beautiful little stockings, like the literally the size of my hand. No, not even that big. Palm of my hand. So that one there was a finish. And that was finished actually on the 2nd of January. So my first finish for 2026. So then I'm going to show you, you're going to kind of see part of my whip, but I've also finished a couple of the others last year. Can't think of its name, and I've got the booklet thrown away now. And this one here, the Noel. And I think that's the sampler stocking. And then the one you can see here, which is actually upside down, is my current whip, which I haven't stitched my thread into it today. That's all I'm doing, is a thread a day on these. And it is a Quaker stocking from JBWDesigns, book number 447. And then I think I've got 2 more to go of this, and then there's the coloured one. But this is my scrap that's left. But I know one there, one strategically placed here, and I will get the other 2. Must be 4 more to go in here. And then that will be that piece of fabric all nicely used up. Okay. So just kind of popping away. Oh, I was looking for that. Popping these away as we go. That's gonna go there. Right. So Christmas Day. I had a new start. And I wasn't going to start this, and then I hummed and hawed, and of course I didn't start till late in the evening in the end. But I decided, you know what, stop putting it off, let's just do it, because one stitch at a time is the only way I'm going to get this thing done. So, I loved this as soon as Nicola started stitching it, and as soon as she let it out, I had to buy it. Threads of Christmas Past. MB 1914. And this is gorgeous. So hands across to see samplers. It's beautiful. I'm stitching mine with Dempsey threads called for colours, which are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colours. So it's not a lot. So it's a great one if you do want to try silks. I just, because I wanted to start it, I pretty much didn't kit this up until Christmas Eve, as you do. And I started. Oops, I can pull that thread out the road. So honestly, that was all I got done on Christmas Day. So outer border, bit of the inner border, A, B, Y, and half a Z. And that is that. I chose 46 count salted caramel from number 12 Stitch Co. And it's beautiful. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous. So this will become, you'll see it a lot more regularly. Okay, so that was Christmas Eve start. Like I did not have enough projects or whips, I then decided New Year's Eve. I needed to start something, and I know I had New Year's Day starts coming. I had 2 of those to start, so I didn't want anything big. So I chose a very small one. That is a borrowed chart from my lovely friend, and it will be coming back very soon. Is Home is Where My Samplers Are. And this one is from the Scarlett house. It's an absolute gorgeous little wee chart. So, New Year's Eve. Scrap piece of fabric. Just a leftover from one of my samplers. And this is where I got to. So, I decided to do the words. So, Home is where my samplers are. Or is where my samplers are without the word home. Then I started the green leaves, and by then my eyeballs had said no more because I had work at 7:30 in the morning the next day. But very happy with having that, so that is another one added to the list. Hence why you're not getting a full whip parade, because it's quite bad. Right, so Home is where the samplers are. Don't want to pop that completely away yet. Right. Tick that one off. Okay, I only have 3 more to show in this segment. Right, I'm just going to move that one to last. Okay, so New Year's Day. Before I went to work, actually I love stitching first thing in the morning. I don't know, calms, relaxes me before I go to work, if you like. It's quite nice with a cup of tea, just sitting, 1 or 2 threads while I'm having my cup of tea, and done. And it works for me. So my New Year's Day start, gosh, that's a mouthful, was Mary 395 1869. She is Bristol Orphanage sampler from Hands Across the Sea Samplers. This is number 3. There's Harriet, which I've stitched, Mary 395, and then Louisa, which I've stitched. So Mary, Harriet's the biggest, Mary's the middle, Louisa was the smallest out of the 3 when they all came out at once, or out at the same time, or same year. So I started this on New Year's Day. I am stitching it on 56 count cream swagger, the same as the others, because I want all 3 the same. So I started with the M because that is in the middle at the top. So New Year's Day, the 2nd, and the 3rd. So this morning stitching was the K. And I am stitching this with Swar 103 in colorway 648, which is the burgundy red that I love. So that is wonderful start, and it's so nice to be back doing red stitching in the mornings. So that's Mary. My next start that I did is my blessing sampler. Now I've chosen a small blessing sampler. I normally do a medium size one. I've chosen a small one this time, but I chose this one, which was MC 1899, which is an exercise in Sumatra cross stitch. This was on the Friends of Hands Across the Sea Facebook group. It's a free chart, and she is beautiful. And there's actually a lot of stitching in this. Doesn't look like much, but there is. So she gets the thread a day, just to make it, otherwise I'd stitch it in a couple of days. So just to help make her go a little bit longer. 56 count, white. Yep, white Zweigart. I am using Swar 103s, this time in colour 66. Where is it? 664. So a different red, and Sumatra crosses up here. The diamond in the middle here is Sumatra crosses, and this section here is just normal cross stitch, and there's one more to go, and then that is how wide it's going to be, and it's pretty much the same height. I think it works out about 3 or 3.5 inches by 3.5 inches in this size with all its detail. But she's gorgeous, and she's going to look so beautiful. So I do have quite a wee bit of stitching there. Okay, so one more sampler that I have worked on this year already. And now I've got to find the cover page. Where's the cover page gone? One moment. Took it off the couch this morning, so it's got to be there. Okay, so I pulled out OwlForest Embroidery, Everflowering Garden. This one I started Christmas 3 years ago, and I'd only bring it out between Christmas and New Year, and then last year I started bringing it out a little bit more regularly and working on it last year, sorry, and then this year you're going to see it a lot more because I'd like to get it completed. So she's a big girl. Here she is here. And it's to her entirety at the moment. This is how wide it is. It's not going to get any wider. That's from edge to edge. This vine here has got to go on this side coming down as well. And everything kind of gets repeated. So there's centre motifs, especially for the top kind of two-thirds. And there's a big, it's kind of hard without the board. This one, I'll get it right. This one here is the middle of this one. No, there's another tree here. This one comes down. This is the middle. And then everything here all gets repeated on this side. So at the moment I'm working my way down. And this is, oh my gosh, I do have it. I wrote it on the top of the pattern, 46 count up in the attic from Fox and Rabbit. Now, I'll roll up a little wee bit. This is where I have been working. So, not on the first. I didn't pull it out in the first because I was just way too tired. But I finished off this branch here because that hadn't been completed and did the red under here. So the bluey colour here needs to be repeated again. I then went, I don't feel like doing that. So I jumped over and I've been working on the green of this big tree here. So that's been 2 nights stitching. And I've still got this branch here to go on this side. And then we'll fill in the other colour. There's one other colour that goes in there with the flowers. But loving how that is coming out. Using called for DMC threads. And you are going to see this a lot more. Okay, so that is all of my whip update on where I'm at. I do have that's my list of what I've worked on. So shall we talk plans? My plans for 2026 is I have way too many whips. I know this, but I still love starting things and I'm still going to start things. You've got to scratch that itch if it arrives, you know. But I need to get some of these whips, but especially big ones, because I love the big ones, worked through. So I have come up with a plan. We'll see how it goes. I think it'll work for me. So I'm just going to pause for a minute. I'm going to do a little bit of a reshuffle so that some of these you'll get to see again because they are in part of the plan. So give me 1 second. All right, so sorry about that. That took me a little bit longer than I expected. Okay, so I'm going to kind of flash this here. This is my 2026 whip goals. This is page 1. So I've broken it down into daily stitching. My blessing sampler, my New Year sampler, year-long stitching. And then first quarter, which is from the 1st of January to the 29th of March. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 other projects that I also want to stitch on. So that's quarter 1, which is what you're going to see today. All of the rest of that. Quarter 2, at the moment there's only 5 there, but there's a few others that I've just found while I was looking for something else. Quarter 3. And quarter 4. So some of these will move forward. There's also a pile of other whips that aren't even in this list. Hence why I'm not doing a whip parade, because there's just too many. Okay, so my daily stitching will consist of, I'm not going to show you the project, but I'm going to show you the books. Mary 395, so she will get her letter or more a day, because she's my morning stitch before I go anywhere and do anything. Okay, it's Mary. I am going to kind of pop some of these away as we go so I don't lose track of where I'm at. Okay, my other daily stitching will be NC 1899, because this one has to be finished in January, by the end of, before the end of January. Not a problem. We're only on day 3 and we're already flying. Right, I'm fine with that. That's another daily stitch. I'm going to pop that into its bag where it needs to go. Okay, my third daily stitch. I'm just throwing the cottons away. We don't want to do that. It's going to be Threads of Christmas Past. So the other two are going to be in the morning. This one will be a thread first thing in the evening, starting on Monday. So on the 6th, this one gets a thread a day until completed, because I want this done and ready for Christmas next year. Okay. I'm telling you guys this because this is for me to be accountable for myself. All right, so Threads of Christmas Past. There are 3 others, if you believe it. My other daily stitching is actually going to be OwlForest Embroidery. Now, this is going to get a thread a day. If I feel like doing more, I will do more. But I'm working on this weekend. So it will also, this one's going to get Saturday and Sunday this week, and then it will become a thread a day. Okay, so you will get to see a lot of these. Right, so. All right, so my next must be completed ASAP is Home is Where the Samplers Are. It's a little wee one. I can finish this as well as the MC 1899 before the end of the month. Well and truly. I mean, I'm a third of the way already. So that one will come out at least once a week. So like today, because it's a day off, besides filming and a few other things, I may put some extra threads into that today. Okay, this is what's in my basket that must be touched all the time. My last lot that you haven't seen yet, because I didn't pull them out because I didn't work on them between Christmas and New Year, is the 12 Days of Christmas. So we've done preschool and need to be finished 1 and 4. We're up to, where's that gone? 5, 6. 6 is still not completed. Here is the start of 6, which is this one here. So I have all the cards cut out, ready to go to assemble all of these. And I need to get them done. And other things keep coming along and wanting to jump in front of this list. So these guys have to be worked at least once a week. So once again, that might be today or tomorrow stitching on one of those days that I've got lots of time. It has to be picked up and at least a few threads into it. Okay, so that, and then when they're done, I've got other 12 Days of Christmas stitching that I want to bring into that. So 12 Days of Christmas stitching is my theme for my Christmas stitching this year. That will be my concentration, because that poor tree needs some more ornaments on it for next year. Okay, so that is my stitching everyday madness. And I say madness because it is madness. I'm just going to pull that out and that's going to go there. Okay, so I'm going to pause for 1 second. Okay, so part of my year-long stitching is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 current whips, plus I'm going to have a new start on 15th of January, and I will eventually get around to starting my Design Your Own Sampler sometime this month. Just haven't kind of worked out a date yet. But I'm going to show you what my year-long stitching ones are. So these have to be touched once a fortnight. 1 session, 2 sessions, whole weekend, don't care. At least 1 evening a fortnight. So Maria Vincenza Lariccha 1837 from Hands Across the Sea Samplers. This has been going for a few years now and needs to be done. Right, so I've already showed you where I'm at to with her, so I'm not going to show you again. Okay. Another one of my ones that you did see before was Anais Curveur, which is the Honour Thy Parents sale I'm doing with my friends. This one is the 15th of the month as well. It's the same group of friends I'm doing the other one with too. So this one will just continue going throughout the year until completed. Okay, so we've already seen where we're at with that. So those are two you have seen. Let's look at three that you haven't seen yet in this video. Okay, so one that I've been missing so much is Charlotte Warrington 1838. And I can't wait to pull her back out and start working on her again. But she is for the year-long stitch. So, not the back, you don't want to see that. It's a fabric. What am I stitching this on? 46 count whole bristle, fox and ribbit. And here, gosh, sorry, I didn't iron anything. Here is where it currently is at. And I haven't stitched on it this year. I haven't stitched on it since I really picked up Christmas stitching. So I really would love to get a good chunk of her done this year, if not completed. But she'll come out at least, like I said, at least once a week and be worked on. Okay, so Charlotte was from Scarlett, no, Needlework Press, sorry, and it was part of the Homespun and Needlework Facebook group, and I do believe it is coming out again, one more chance to get it through that Facebook group. I believe that's what Julie said. Here's really where I've done that little bit up the top, but this is the, I guess, better chunk of where I'm at. So we're almost there with the castle. We've seriously got to bring along underneath there, and that grass filling in does take a long time. But I reckon once that's done, once this bottom third's done, she's going to fly and stuff, but we're getting there. So she will be coming back out, like I said, once a week. Okay, so that's Charlotte. Let's have a look. My next one that will be coming out, this was actually my leap year sale, and I have not stitched on it very much for the last 2 years, so I have 2 years to finish this baby. Lucy Navia 1818, she was Queen of the May for 2019, and this is all full coverage in here. French knots for the tree. Lots of embroidery work as well as cross stitch in this one. So this is on a piece of 40 count that I dyed myself. Make sure I get this around the right way. So I started, oops, a moment please, pin in there. I started at the top center. So, she's a big girl, we have to come way back. There she is there. I know you can't see much detail with her way there. But that's how big she is. Okay, so, DMC threads, 40 count, 1/2. And that's definitely blowing out. There's a colour, probably a bit more there. Okay, I started at the top centre flower. Worked my way along and then down the border, down this side. I've still got to fill in some of the flowers. And I came down to the bottom. So I wanted to make sure I definitely had enough fabric, and I thought I did, so that's good. Right, so then I started coming along into that grass and all of that scenery at the bottom. I had to come around the corner, and I've got a counting error, so I stopped, and I'm just bringing this further around, and I will unpick this part as I need to. But where I am here, that outlined piece there is, make sure I got it around the right way, this little guy here. So that little section there is what I've done out of that whole middle thing. So yes, Lucy needs to come out weekly, well and truly, to get some love into her. Because there's a lot of 1/1 stitching in this as well, which takes that a little bit longer, of course, but she will be beautiful. So Lucy is definitely coming out to play here. And another one that will be seen pretty much all year, I would say, it'll probably take that long to get it done, is Dutch Beauty. And she came out a little bit last year, but not a lot, and she needs some serious love. These guys all do. Okay, so here we at. This is from the left hand corner to the middle, the chart, and we've pretty much done a lot of what's in the top part here till the middle. There's a little bit more to go in here, and then these guys need finishing off. But we came down and we started down here. Ribbit is outlined but not filled in. Down the side, this was on a whole whole yard, sorry, of fabric, and I wanted to get it cut down. There came down for row number 3, and then the final one started tuning and coming along there. So I know my piece of fabric is now big enough. This is how big she's going to be. And won't she look great up on that wall up there? That's where Dutch Beauty is going to go. And she is gorgeous. So I need to seriously get back into stitching her as well. So hence why she is in that weekly rotation. Alright, that's not all the madness. One moment. Okay, so like I mentioned a little bit earlier, I've broken a lot of my samplers up into quarter stitching, a quarter of the year. So it basically gives me 3 months to work on these projects, whether that's once in that time, or you know, they get 5 or 6, 20 sessions on them. It doesn't matter. I have a few of them I definitely have in my mind. I'm going to push and get them finished and out of the whip pile. And Sarah Brazier is definitely one of them, and she is up in the first quarter, because I really would love to have Sarah finished by March. I would love, she wouldn't be framed, but I would love to take her along to show and tell for our Christchurch retreat, because Sarah was one of my first samplers on 56 count. I've done it in DMC, and she's just so beautiful. I don't see many people stitching her. I know a lot of people get put off with all the satin stitches, but oh, I can't wait. So Sarah Brazier is my quarter whip number 1. Okay, my quarter whip number 2 was a birthday start for last year with my birthday twin Tanya. And Serenity. Guys, I've only stitched on her about 4 times this year. She needs to come back out. So she's in my quarter stitching. I am not, it's my birthday in a few weeks, so I am not doing a new birthday start. I am picking up my birthday whips, and I have 2, and they're both in this quarter, and they're going to get definitely love on my birthday. I'll be at work, but you know, and concentration. So hence, because next year I would love to start a new one for my birthday. So Serenity from Teresa Kogut. She is being stitched on, oh my gosh, look, it's a whole yard of fabric. No wonder I can't find my fabric. Look, whole yard. I can't even remember. Did I do this one? Of up in the attic 46 count from Fox and Rabbit. Alright, so we're going to fold it back up again. And here is where I'm at. So not a lot of love got put into Serenity. It's so sad. So hence why she's coming out this year and she is going to be worked on. So she is quarter whip number 2. Definitely need to get on with her. A great start and then just bombed out on her. And she just doesn't call into me. So she's in that. I have 2 baskets. My daily whipping and my others that need to be touched. And as I do them, you guys will really think I'm nuts. As I do them, I have a 3rd basket. So they go into there for Flosstube. Okay, Sarah Serenity. Jane. So, Jane Southward. GGR. This is whip number 3. We did see this before, but I'll quickly show you again on this one because I love the colours in this. And she's going to be gorgeous. Okay, so whip number 3. Quarter number 3. Okay, whip quarter number 4 is from this year's Stash Sampler Starts. And I was watching my friend Lee from Creative Lee, who sneakily has finished it. My goodness. I'm not even finished the first page. It's alright. I'll get there, Lee. It's okay. Let me see if I can. I just need to find the picture that has them. Oh, here it is here. Heart and Home Patchwork. The 5 different pieces. I'm doing mine just on 1 piece of fabric and 1 base colour. I haven't done the multis. And this is by Blackbird Designs. 40 count. I'm stitching on Newcastle. Vintage Country Mocha. DMC threads. And here's my page 1 of 5. At least finished. Her needles were definitely on fire for this one. And I know it's not that big a stitch. I just haven't had time to put into it. So it's coming out in that quarter stitching. So what do we say? This must be number 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Number 4. Quarter stitch whip number 4. Okay. Number 5 is one I haven't pulled out for a little while either. Elizabeth Furniss, 1836. I love this one. Loved it since it first came out. And I put off starting it, and then I finally started it, and it's being stitched on a 40 count linen that I dyed myself. And I am using DMC threads, and seriously, this needs some love. I think this one got pushed aside when I started Scarlett, because I wanted to dive into that Scarlett one. So seriously, Elizabeth needs to come back out, and she is. She is number 5 in my quarterly stitching. Love her. Sorry, Elizabeth. Put these away after. Okay, number 6 is Rachel, which we've shown. Rachel Sheard. This one has to be finished by March. Easily done. Because I want to give the chart back because it's a borrowed chart from my friend. And a quick glimpse of where we're at because we did pull this out. She is there. She's gorgeous. Okay, and why have I got that written there? Oh, I'll just cross that one out because that shouldn't be there. And my last one is my other birthday whip. I didn't start this for our birthdays, but my friend Tanya did, and I already had it as a whip from the year before. And it seriously, it needs some love. Oh, Let Love Rain, Teresa Kogut. I love this. I don't know where it's going to go in my house because the blues really aren't my colours as far as my decor goes, but it's a sampler and we have to have it. I want to do this. Can't wait to get to this. Alright, do you want to see my sad progress on my whip? Hence why she's in the quarterly stitching. So, Let Love Rain. So the bones of the border are there. I started at the top. Then I came down and I worked on the bottom. And this is, I definitely know where I was working last time was the alphabet in the bottom. And I think it's because I want to get to that flower. But my border all made up. It's all done. You know, the bones, I just need to do all the other parts. But I seriously need to pull this out. She is being stitched on Russian caramel from 46 count DMC threads from number 12 Stitch Co. So there we go. Lots of work needs to be done on lots of projects. So I think I worked it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 in my quarterly stitching. Plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in my daily stitching, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus the 2 new starts, 7 in my weekly stitching. So a lot of projects. In that I will add in some more Christmas as and when I feel like it. I do have these ones here which I'm thinking I'm going to take to work on. I'm just going to show you them before I close this out. And they are from Stitching with the Housewives. And they were the Sideways Strippers series. Mrs. Claus Yarn Shop. And they're so cute. I don't think I'll finish them the same way. I never seem to finish them the same way as Priscilla does. So yes, Mrs. Claus's Yarn Shop. There is a freebie as well. Which is Santa's Cookie Cupboard. Can't show you because it's just a chart. Mrs. Claus's Confectionery is there, and Santa's Stitch Shop. And I've got a whole heap of others. I've had these patterns like since they've come out. I have a huge stash of Christmas patterns and I just need to get on with them. So I'm probably going to go to work to be stitched on, but it's going back in that basket. Okay, that is it. That is the madness that is in my brain at the moment. That is my whip update, my plans for 2026 first quarter, so between now and the end of March. It's a lot of stitching and not all of that is going to get finished. I have in my head, and I'm not going to say which ones they are because every time I do that I kind of jinx myself. But I know what I need to do in my heart. So, thank you for watching if you made it to the end. My goodness, poor you. It's a lot out of my brain. It doesn't feel any lighter though. That's okay. Happy stitching everybody. And remember, one stitch at a time. We'll get these projects done. Whether they are the little wee small ornaments, whether they are the medium little cushions that we want to work on, the smalls that we want to work on, or the big samplers that we want to work on. One stitch at a time, we'll get these projects done. Happy stitching!